are live, me and Annette here with day 2 of how to grow your business through Facebook groups without being spammy, without sending messages and begging your friends and family.
Making a list of 100 people.
Oh, yeah. How many of you have heard that one before? Make your list of 100.
Right?
Yeah. I have like a bit of PTSD over it. Like I just can't do it. I'll try. I get a list about 10. I can do that.
Yeah. I remember the first time I ever did that. I got the list and I was probably almost to 100. And then I was like, what are we doing with this list? Because I just went right in and was like, okay, everybody I know. And I just started writing. And then I was like, wait, no, I'm not sending them all messages. No, that's not happening.
Right. I know. So anyways, guys, we are so excited today just to share and talk with you about how to grow your business with Facebook groups. This is literally the best strategy if you're looking for something that isn't high tech, that doesn't cost you money, don't have to spend a bunch of money on ads, and you'll find like your exact targeted person that you're looking to talk to. So if that sounds good to you, raise your hand, drop a 1 below. And we are going to share a little bit of slides and a little bit of live demonstration here too. So let me pull this up real quick and share.
Yeah. While you're watching, let us know where you're watching from. We love to know where everybody's coming in from.
Yes, definitely. And if you're using Facebook groups already, please comment below and tell us, do you have a Facebook group? Are you using a Facebook group right now? I'd be so curious to hear about that. And can you see my slide?
I can.
Perfect. Awesome. Great. So let me go into present mode here. I have to admit, I have way too many groups, but it's okay.
Yeah, me too.
I also own too many groups.
But I do have my favorites. There's a few that I really like.
Yeah, I can say I recommend joining so many groups or starting many groups. I would really recommend maybe having one group that you dedicate yourself to, and that's it.
Yeah.
Of your own, anyways.
Yeah.
So today we're going to talk about finding the right people in the right groups. And so, like Annette said earlier, groups are amazing. They're gold, but only really if you're in the right ones.
Mm-hmm.
So we're going to help you today to learn how to define your dream client, to really have a clarity of who you're looking for, how to search and join the groups where these people are already hanging out, looking for solutions, how to bookmark and track your groups so that you know where to find them and you can stay active in them. Because the longer that you stay active in a group, like you're going to get some little badges and things like that. And then understand the group rules so that you don't get kicked out. And now, after this, you'll be in the rooms where your aligned leads are hanging out. So why don't you talk a little bit about this? Annette, I feel like you're an expert on defining that dream client.
Awesome. So it's really important to understand who you're looking for, who your dream client is. And I know that everybody thinks, well, my product or whatever it is that I do or sell is good for everyone. And that might be true. But if you can't find a way to focus in on a specific demographic, you're going to have a really hard time finding people because you're going to be throwing too big of a net. Like if you go out into the ocean and throw a net that's 100 miles wide, you're not going to be able to catch any fish because it's just going to sink all the way to the bottom. But if you throw a small net, then you're likely to catch more fish because it's more controllable and it's in a smaller area. So when you're thinking about it, a lot of times your ideal client is going to be somebody that looks, acts, and sounds a lot like you. They're going to think like you. They're going to talk like you. They're going to use the same words when they're talking. So for example, if somebody has autoimmune disease, those people speak a different language than most other people, and they have experiences that a lot of people have no way of understanding. Same with menopause. If you're talking to people about perimenopause, a 25-year-old isn't necessarily, unless they have a illness that causes them to go in early, they're not going to understand what you're talking about. And if you're talking about menopause, then that's a whole different demographic. So the best thing you can do is, first of all, figure out what group of people you'd like to talk to. Like if you say, Amber was talking yesterday about she's in a perimenopause group because she has a product that works really well for people that are dealing with hormonal issues. If you're dealing with, if you have a product that really helps people balance their blood sugar, then you might want to be in a group that talks about hormonal issues or weight loss, different things like that, where blood sugar balance really comes into play.
Right.
But
or diabetes or like pre-diabetic,
right,
things like that, right?
Yeah, and you want to try to avoid groups where there's an expert that's already telling people exactly what to do, because they're just going to kick you out of that group. But usually what you'll find is your ideal client is somebody that's very similar to you. So write down 5 things that you're really passionate about. For me, I love travel, but I don't sell travel, but I can use lifestyle photos for travel to keep people interested in what's going on my page. So travel is, always a good one. Health and wellness is always a good one. But what are you passionate about? If you're passionate about dogs and you know a lot about dogs, you never know who you might meet in a group about dogs. You could really meet some really cool people. But if you can find groups that are aligned with something you're passionate about and something you have a little bit of education about, then that's a really good mesh, because you can speak as not an expert, but someone who knows about things. You might be able to give people tips or ideas. And that's when you really start attracting other people to you, is when you contribute to the group, because the people are like-minded. They're like you. Did I miss anything?
That's a great point. Actually, so I'm so glad you said the pet thing. So when I was a Beachbody coach, I signed up this girl and she had no social media, right? I met her at a park. I had like a booth at an event and we connected. She actually had been using one of their programs that she lost like 60 pounds. And I was like, do you know that you could like be selling this product, and you could be helping people? She was a nurse at a local hospital. And it was really cool. So I actually helped her to get online. Like she joined Facebook and I told her about the group idea, right? And this was like back in
So it's been a while back.
This is like 2014, 15, around there. And so she was super into dogs and Labradors specifically. So she joined like a Labrador group and she literally was my number 1 rep in my team. Just came into Facebook, made a Facebook page. She did add like her nurses, that were in her network and her people in her network, like over time. They also supported her a lot, but she met tons of people in the Labrador group. And so even though she's not selling anything related to dogs, it's just that everyone is into like, there's plenty of people that need to lose weight, right? That want to exercise more, that want to eat healthy. So you figure like, say 30% of the people in the group maybe are interested in something like how to get healthier, right? So she would just connect with people, oh, I like your dog, and then go add them as a friend. And so it's such a simple thing, but I think it's something people get stuck and they think like, oh, I only have 100 friends on Facebook. I can't grow a business. But it's like, no, you have to expand your network, but it doesn't have to be hard, because you can go and make new friends online. And it's easy to do it when you're in a community that is that you enjoy. And
Right.
So if you have something in common, it's easier to have a connection over that.
Right. And you're only allowed to have 5,000 Facebook friends. And I would rather have 100 people that are really in the same interest, like field that I am, people that are interested in the same things I'm interested in, than 100 strangers that have no thing in common with me at all.
Yeah.
Because you're going to have more in common with those people. Therefore, you're going to have something to talk about and more opportunity to share with them.
Right. You can grow it slowly. I wouldn't recommend having 5,000 friends. It's like too many. It's too many to keep up with. But what will happen is your interest will evolve over time. So you may start out with like a group about dogs, and then 2 years later, you're on a totally different journey. Maybe you're like learning how to craft and I don't know, like doing knitting or something. So then you join a knitting community and that's your thing for like a year or two. And then, you evolve and now you're into sourdough making, right?
Yeah.
it's just like you evolve and that's what happens with me over time. Like I've evolved and I've gone through all these different phases. So like now I was all in this weight loss thing for years, and then I was into the anti-aging collagen for years, and now like it's usually going to be you and I mentioned, but at an earlier phase of time. So for me, I can like look back at Amber when she was like that mom hustling pharmaceutical sales, like wishing she was home with her kids, driving all over the place, and then I was Amber that was struggling to lose that last 10 pounds. So I go back to that girl and, oh my gosh, what am I doing wrong? I literally don't drink Starbucks coffees anymore. Like I'm eating healthy. What am I doing wrong? Right. And then I solved that problem. Right. And then I knew how to help people with that. And then I was in the menopause symptoms, right? Gaining weight, hot flashes, brain fog. And then something came along and that helped me with that. So you're going to talk to that person that was there when you were in the struggle. And so you only have to be a few steps ahead of them.
Right. I think you only have to know about 10% more than someone else to be able to guide them in the journey. And people like to be able to go along the journey with you. So sharing your struggles and sharing your progress with people actually creates more collaboration and more friendships because you have so much in common.
Yeah, I love that. Yeah, Tasha just put in here, she had experienced the same thing. She went from camping to dogs and now wives whose husbands travel. See, that's neat. So as you're in this industry a longer time, you're going to see yourself evolve.
Right.
And there's groups for every step of your evolution.
Everything you could ever imagine.
Yeah. So if you want, if you need help with your ideal client, drop the word ideal below. And we are going to give you a resource that will help you to really figure out the ideal client. So I'm going to go back to sharing my screen here.
It's always fun to try to find the button back, right?
I know. I said I was still sharing the screen, but I don't think I was. Oh, that's right. I had just changed the view. Yeah. Sorry, guys. Technology. Okay. So this is some of the little notes I put in there.
You don't have to be an expert at technology to hold a webinar.
Hey, I know, right? We are real people. This is relatable. So yeah. So like, these are just the key points. So often your ideal client is you before your transformation. So find a product that you'll get a transformation from, and that's where to start. When you speak to everybody, you really speak to nobody. So if you're just trying to cast that broad net, it's not going to really pull anybody in. And you can write out what are the problems your products solve for people. Focus on, how the problems rather than, the little benefits and all the science. Who's your best customer? So if you have a customer if you've been selling and you do have some customers, you want to look at who's your best customer. What are their qualities? What brought them in? You could even ask them like, why did you try these products? What do you like about them? Why do you stay on these products? And then you're kind of be able to like pull in more clients like that person. So where does your ideal client hang out? This is going to help you reach more customers faster. And so you want to touch on this one, Annette?
Yeah, so we brought this up in the previous video that there's tens of millions of active groups on every topic you could even imagine. And, there's 1.8 billion people on Facebook. So there's plenty of people out there. It's just a matter of getting in the room, which we'll call a group, a room, getting in the room with the right people.
Right, exactly. Actually, there's more than 1.8 billion on Facebook. That's 1.8 billion that use the Facebook groups every month.
Oh, wow.
Yeah. And so here's some ways on how you can do a group search. So I just took screenshots of here, but we are going to go into my Facebook in a second. So basically, if you're on Facebook here, there's a search bar and you can search menopause up here, or you can just go down here. I'm sorry, I just kind of type that in, but this is where you'll find the groups. So you just want to open this part up on your Facebook and hit the groups. And then when you hit the groups, it's going to show you the groups that, I manage some groups, right? So it's going to show me, I can look at a feed of groups. So the groups that I'm in right here on this part where it says I help clients with, if I scroll down, that's its own news feed. That's just from the groups that I'm in. So that'll help you to kind of keep up with your groups. I actually didn't even realize that was a feature. I was like, that is so helpful. it'll help me keep up with my groups that I'm in. So go to the feed of your groups, and then this part is discover right under there. And so that's where you go and discover your own groups that you want to join. And then this here is your group. So if you have your own groups. And so it will actually, when I put discover, it's going to suggest groups for me. So it knows me, health and wellness. I do like castor oil, direct sales, MLM, affiliate marketing. You know, does it know me or what, Annette?
It's got you down.
And then pinning groups. So right here, you would just down here, you can actually pin the group. So it says manage groups, pins right here. So I know this is a little technical type of stuff. So you want to take a screenshot of that. You know, if you want to have shortcuts.
Like 10 groups, I think, is the max.
You can pin 10. Yeah. Pin 10. And so the way you would do it is you would click on this little gear looking thing here at the top where it says groups, and then it will let you pin your groups. So pretty simple. And then I click on that and it says pin groups, and then you can unpin or pin the groups that you want. So I'll walk you through it actually. Let's do this. I think sometimes looking at these makes me feel a little exhausted. I'm like, it's hard to look at those little screenshots. Let me just actually share my screen and show you. All right, let's do that. So let's try that again. Share the screen. Let's actually go to Facebook. All right. Oh, I got to close. You're all seeing all my private messages right now. Oh my gosh.
Wow, you got a bunch of them hanging out there.
I know. Busy. Okay, so here we are. So Facebook groups, click on the groups, right? And then here's the groups that I manage. Way too many. And then we look up here. So this is the gear. So like I said, this is pins, right? So if you want to look at pinning the groups, you can go in here, unpin, pin the group that you want. All right. So there's that. And then we'll talk about like finding groups. So Annette said that I should show a little bit about some leads that I got recently. So let's kind of look at my notifications here, and I'll show you some examples. So I woke up this morning with a notification like, hey, send me your link to this product.
I love those messages.
I know. Like, so exciting. Yeah. Let's see. Oh no, that's not the one. Trying to see if I can find it. Sorry, guys. Is it fun? Hopefully I didn't get kicked out of any groups again. Sometimes if I don't see them in my feed, I get nervous that maybe I got removed from it.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, no. Let's see. Is it this one? Okay, here we go. So look, she says, okay, so I'm in this holistic menopause and perimenopause support group for US, UK, Canada, and Australia. I mean, how perfect is that? So someone says, I'm constantly reading about my cortisol and inflammation in the body. How do you seriously reset cortisol? My life is stressful. Nothing I can do about it. Work, elderly, unwell parent, teenagers. I do my best to ease the stress. I have awful menopause symptoms and stress doesn't help. Awful sweats and pains in hands and feet. I need a magic wand or some divine inspiration. Okay, now there's like 152 comments. So part of me thinks, oh gosh, there's so many comments. Who's going to even read my comment? But I was like, nope, I'm just going to do it. And so I just put a simple kind of curiosity comment that be something I would say to a friend, right? So I said, I've been using a drink that has 7 mushrooms, nootropics, and B vitamins, and it's worked wonders to lower my stress and balance my hormones, and it tastes delicious too. That's all I said. And I got one of my friends, Diana, so she must be in the group, right? And she saw my comment, and she said, hi, where do you get this from? And I said to her back, hey, Diana, great to see you here. I'll send you a text. Maybe we can meet up and I'll get you some samples to try. So because she's local, so I could do that. And this person is anonymous, so I'm not really responding because I'm afraid if I say something, I might get booted out. here because I don't really want to say the name of the company and brand because then people are just going to go and search it. And I mean, I don't know if that's selfish of me not to do it, but I'm not doing it. If she wants to talk to me, she can come and ask me.
She can DM you as well.
Right, exactly.
And
So
most people these days on Facebook know that if you post something and they want to know about it, to send you a DM. I mean, it's pretty common now. People know that.
right, exactly. And then Holly, she said, would you please send me a link to the drink? And I said, yes, I will. And then I started a conversation with her. So that's as simple as it goes, right? And then if I go and look at my feed, so go into the groups. Sorry, let's go into the groups and look at the feed right here. You'll see that it's going to give me all the opportunities to comment on things, you know? So anyways, so basically, you know, I'm not seeing a ton that I would like. I'll be honest, it actually shows up better in my main feed.
Yeah.
That I'm looking at this feed. Yeah.
And I honestly, like you said, you were, hesitant to post on that one because there were so many comments on it already. I actually love commenting on a post that has a bunch of people already commenting because the chances of all of those people seeing it are pretty high. It's easier to get more attention after people have commented. So if I see a post that is fresh and only has like one comment, I'll hit the 3 little dots and turn on notifications for that post. And then later that day, if it's gotten a bunch of comments, then I'll go comment after a bunch of people have commented so that everybody that has commented sees my comment.
I love that. That's actually super smart. I love that strategy. See, this is what happens when you get together. You get new ideas, new inspiration. Right? Yeah. And here's what I learned from like one of my mentors. I got to give the credit to Doug Boughton if you watch this. Because he grew a huge business with ClickFunnels by going into like the ClickFunnels group. He's a ClickFunnels affiliate, and he would just answer the best. He's, and so basically, if you can go in there and you give a better answer, a more detailed, a more caring answer, people are going to notice that, right? And if you don't sound spammy, because there's a lot of people that are like, "I love this product," and you can tell that they sell it, and it just comes across so creepy. So if you just come in there with like you come in there genuine, and like with Annette, she's a doctor. And so, when people can see that and they'll go look at her page or she can even mention, I'm a naturopathic doctor, then the credibility is like way up here. Right. And so if you have some sort of credentials like that does help to mention those sort of things, but just answer really experience. Yeah. And to answering just really intelligently will make people be curious and they'll go, who is this person? Oh, look at her. She's a doctor, so it's just about the way that you answer the question is what's going to like draw people in to look at your thing. And if you're struggling with like getting replies back, then, you could always send us some, we're doing a VIP session afterwards. So we have an upgrade option. And if you want to do that, we're doing like every single day an opportunity where we'll work with you one-on-one. So if you want to say like, hey, this isn't really like working for me or people aren't responding to my comments, and we can kind of strategize with you and see what might be causing the problem.
Come up with a better way to word something so it doesn't come off, like you're desperate for attention.
Yeah, totally.
Yeah,
totally.
You want to come off helpful and not salesy. And that takes a little practice, but you'll get better, and you can read the other comments and you'll real quick be like, oh, okay, I see why nobody commented on this one, because you can just tell.
Yeah, for sure. And pay attention to like you learn kind of by practicing, you learn by doing, and pay attention to what other people are doing.
And it also helps if you say like, in my experience, that way, nobody can argue with your experience because it happened to you. So nobody can say that's not true because you experienced it. So that kind of takes the pressure off.
Yeah, totally. I agree. And so now let's just talk about like the group rules and how like to not get kicked out. So, lately I've been looking, when I was doing this, I was like going into some groups and trying to find the rules, and it was surprisingly difficult.
Really?
Yeah, like some of them and it could be just that they don't really have the rules because a lot of times it'll be like in the pin post or something. So basically, if you're all doing this for the first time anyways, you're going to see what will happen is when you go to join the new group, it will have the rules. but mostly you're going to be able to tell the rules by what's happening in the group. So I would say you can kind of just tell by looking. So if you see there's like a big cover photo of the group that shows, the Dr. Annette this is her group about holistic healing, and she's active in the group and she's posting in there, get out of there. Like, don't even try. And she's selling her own stuff and that's not going to happen. But if it's just like a group and you see there's no really admin activity, you can click in and you can see who the admin is, and you can see that people are posting links and people are talking about products, then you're going to know that nobody cares and you can do it too. All right. Yeah. So you'll kind of get a feel for it that way. And honestly, if you try to post a link and you're not allowed to, it will probably not let you post the link. It'll actually tell you like, oh, you're not allowed to do that. And they'll usually give you a free pass at first and just say, hey, don't do that. So I would just kind of look at what people are doing and you'll be able to see that.
Yeah. And if you do get a post that gets bounced and they tell you that you're not allowed to do that, you can ask that admin if they send you a message, be like, hey, I have lost track of the group rules. Would you please direct me to where they are? And they will send you a link right to the group rules. And then you'll be able to refresh your memory on what they are.
Yeah. And they'll appreciate that, you know? Yeah. And I've even got kicked out of a group. And then I actually befriended the admin and got back in the group because I really wanted to be in that group. So I just said, I'm sorry, I promise I won't do that again.
Yeah. And some people create groups because they want to sell their products and they don't want other people in there selling. And that's totally fine. That's just not your group. Just go find another similar group that you can, be helpful and support other people. And you'll find that people they'll respond to you in those groups.
Yeah. And also people do maybe they start a group that they wanted to sell product in and then they just abandon it. They abandon it, they grow it, and then they just abandon it. So you can kind of capitalize off that. It happens a lot. Yeah. Kind of human nature. So
and you can also, in some groups, if you're in there and you pay attention and it sounds like a group that you might want to be an admin in, sometimes you can ask about being an admin, and admins oftentimes are allowed to post their own products too. So that's always another option.
That's actually a good idea. I've actually had somebody hit me up for an admin role in one of my groups that I wasn't that active in. And I let her help me out with it. So you never know.
Yeah.
And so this is kind of some examples of the rules. So here's a menopause support group, share experiences. Please share experiences and support others in their journey. Do not offer medical advice. Respect members, no promotional or advertising. Now, a lot of them may say that, but that's why, again, it's the way that you say things really matters. So tomorrow we're actually focusing all our training on what you say, how you say it, etc. And so you can kind of see the rules here, but this one was one specifically. It says Malika Bag, I don't know how to spell it, the founder of the group, prohibits coaching and the sale of goods that are not part of her program. So I'm I'm not really going to be participating in this group,
Right.
Yeah, because there's plenty of other menopause groups that I don't need to try to be in a group like that where I don't want to. First of all, I don't want to disrespect her. It's her group,
right?
Yeah. So I'm not going to be disrespectful. I'd rather join a group that isn't really being managed by anybody. That's easier, and it's not creepy. It's not the wrong thing to do.
Right.
So now we just want to hear about what groups you would like to join. So tell us below, comment below, or what groups are you in that you have found benefit from? I think it would be super nice to hear from you all about the groups that you are planning to join or going to look for, going to search. So drop that below. And then tomorrow, here's our agenda. So we are going to teach you how to sell without selling. We're going to let your values speak. We're going to have you teach you how to comment like a leader, not a lurker. Answer questions with expertise. So they will click your name and look at your profile. That's why we got your profile looking dope yesterday and today when we did our training today. Subtle ways to drop breadcrumbs about your business, your product. And then bonus, we're going to give you some common examples and writing prompts. And so you're going to become the person that everyone is low-key stalking. Hello. Who wants that?
You want people to lurk you, stalk you, chase you down.
In a good way. Not the stalkers, but the menopause mom stalkers,
That's
safe
right.
ones. And then for those of you that are participating in our challenge that want to earn potentially some free coaching from us, this is your homework. So find 3 to 5 groups and join them. Basically share those groups with us. Tell us which ones you applied for. Sometimes you don't get in right away. Sometimes they just take a little while to get approved, but you can just write down the names of the ones you did apply to join. And then observe the rules and make a note of them. So maybe just take a screenshot of those. Pin a group. I want you to practice pinning a group. And then comment on a post in a group and screenshot it and share. So do a little bit of work tonight. Let's go and see you implement this. Because honestly, the best way you'll learn how to do this is to do it.
Yeah.
You know, that 80%. I learned this when I was in pharmaceutical sales. They said that, you know, because sometimes people like, they just want to like learn and learn and learn and learn and learn. And when I feel ready. But 80% of the learning happens from doing it.
Yeah.
So those overthinkers, I was guilty of that. I've been guilty of that. Just go and do it. Burn a little bit, fail a little bit. If you get kicked out of a group, it's okay. If you don't respond to things,
1.8 billion more groups.
Right. Exactly.
Don't get your feelings hurt. Just move on to the next one.
Yeah, literally. Yeah. So if it's like a super, super, super niche thing, like that was what was Elaine. I remember she said she had the Labrador group was like a very unique one. So she was careful. She had to be really careful because she didn't have another group. So if you have a super niche, then, you know, you may want to be a little bit more careful. But again, if you're just trying to help people and you're not like posting links and stuff, you're really not doing anything wrong that should get you kicked out.
Right. Yeah. And if you're, you know, you don't have to post in the group. As a matter of fact, you'll probably have better luck commenting than you will posting. But once you start to get better with hooks and things, then posting sometimes will get you a lot of traffic. I've posted in groups before and had like 300 comments on a post before, but in all honesty, only 2 or 3 of those people converted. So it's really, honestly, you're going to have better luck instead of fretting over trying to figure out how do I make a post that's going to fit in within these group rules. Just comment and support other people. It's going to go a lot farther than trying to make posts. Yeah.
Yeah, that's a great point. Yeah, I don't really try to post in groups unless I have a genuine question. I may have, if I'm going to post in groups, it's usually going to be a question. Like I'm in these peptide groups, right? Because I've been using these GLP-1 peptides. And so I joined this group and I was like, hey, where are you getting your peptides from? You know? And like, I mean, that's just a genuine question I had, you know? And so then sometimes you find some people that you can connect with on that and you're just like on this same journey. So genuine questions that you actually want the answer to is easier than trying to be creative. It's like, so genuinely follow something you're working on in your own life. Like go in there, support others, support yourself. And you're going to find it's so easy. It's so easy. And it's just not, there's none of that ick factor. There's none of that like, oh, I'm messaging people and trying to get them to like support my business, like, you know, and sounding kind of weird and spammy and uncomfortable. It's just going to be easy. It's going to be easy to flow in that conversation. And so Tasha says, thank you for all your comments. Appreciate you. She said she joined a Pipeline Wives and Wives of Traveling Husbands groups. I want to find more similar ones. Yeah, I looked at your page. Like it was super interesting. The way what you're doing. I know working on the pipeline for men, they'd be gone for like a month. So I was curious to hear more about what you're doing. And she says she's testing out posting conversational questions right now. So people see my name. And then if she adds them, she's not a complete stranger. So yeah, that's a good idea too. Just building conversation and just building relationships. Yeah. So yeah. Do you know that there's like a loneliness epidemic in the world right now? And so you know, it's a great way to connect with people, and you never know who actually you're helping by being out there, by being that light, by being someone that they can talk to and connect with. So think of that. Take that away. Instead of feeling like, oh, I'm bothering people, I'm doing this. It's like, you know, who am I connecting with that it's going to bless their life to just have a great conversation and make a new friend today. And if you're doing it in the groups that you're genuinely like interested in, it's going to be way easier to make a friend than having a weird, awkward conversation about the weather in Ohio or, you know.
Right. Yeah. And sometimes, like, even like I've been in a lot of travel groups, and sometimes I'll see somebody post about a city that they're visiting, and I'll instantly get on there and be like, "Oh my gosh, I was there last summer. We had so much fun. Did you see this or did you see that? Have you experienced this yet?" And then they're instantly messaging me back going, "No, I haven't seen that. How do I get to that?" So it's about making friends, and
Yep.
it's so easy to do if you're in the right place with the people that have things in common with you.
Yeah, totally. Totally. And generally, like, things all kind of like line up together. Like, it's so interesting. It's like people that are into travel, they're into health and wellness, they're into, like, I found with COVID during that COVID year, like, it was just so, I found that like there were so many themes amongst the people that I had like things in common with, that it was sort of this domino effect. It's like, oh, we both are, into holistic health, and then we're into like the Bible and into the homeschooling the kids, which I don't homeschool the kids, but most of my friends do. So, and they're into like gardening and all of these sort of similar things, and traveling and wine. And so there's a lot of like things you'll find that they actually just flow together easily. And so if you find them in a travel group, you probably find you have a load of things in common with them.
Yeah.
Yeah. And so they could be best, like Annette and I, we met at a network marketing conference.
We did.
Mm-hmm. And so that was cool. That was cool. We could have met online, but we met in person because we were there in person, which, that was the only time I ever went to that conference in person. The rest of the times I went virtually. So that was cool.
Yeah. It was really serendipitous.
I know. So thanks for watching, everybody. We'll see you tomorrow. We'd love to hear from you. Thank you so much, Jan and Tasha. Aw, see, Tasha was lonely that year. See, it's a thing. So
Yes.
making friends online, especially, later in life, it can be difficult for people. So, but there's lots of people out there looking for connection.
Yeah. I find I'm a lot happier if I talk to people, because I can stay home. I'm an introvert. I can stay home for a week straight and never see another human, but I'm a much happier person if I get out of the house and see people. Much happier.
Right. Same. I know. Same here. And, Jan said, how do you join the VIP group? So want to drop that link in there?
I'll drop the link. Yeah.
Okay. Perfect. Awesome. We'd love to have you, Jan. And, oh shoot, I was just going to say something. Now I'm blanking out. All right. We'll call it a night. We've already been done here for 40 minutes. So if you want to join our VIP group, we're doing live Q&A with you. You can talk to us, pick our brain on your, on what you want to do with your groups. And we'll also have some bonuses for you, which are on the link below. All right. So have a good night, and please share with us anything that you learned. Feel free to share this with a friend, and it's free to join every day of the training. So we're excited to have you here.
Yes.
All right.
See you guys tomorrow.
See you tomorrow.